Rarely have we ever, if ever at all, had 4 teams fighting for the trophy in the very final match of a global championship. We are dialed in, we are ready, and hopefully the players are as well, as we for the last time in all of Esports World Cup take to the battlefield to crown a champion of what will have been one of the most tight races in all of PUBG Esports history.
The level of the teams here at play, Toby, the absolute massive implications of who will win this tournament, not only for PGC, but also winning Esports World Cup. The pressure on these players. This is an immense and an incredible event so far. And of course it's going to end like this.
Absolutely insane. Of course, we have to right off the back look for hot drops, look for chaos that does sometimes commence in these final matches. I'm seeing BB Team and TSM scarily close to one another. If there's a fight brewing here, if you're TSM, you better get the hell out of Severny.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to contest any teams this early, especially when they see that one is so close in BB Team. They have Severny get the vehicles. You see Purdy does not want to go down early this game, and so they should, if necessary, like you said, just back off. It's not worth it, especially because they can win this event.
A little bit of a fight over vehicles as Tianba tried to run over one of the Valentine players, but won't be able to successfully find that kill. Circle is going to take us to the north. East. We were in this vicinity in the previous one. Will we go Stauber? That would massively favor a TSM rotation, or are we once again, similar to that last match, gonna head down south of Yasnaya into the open fields where we just in this last match saw how to play it out. Either you have a compound or you're extremely good with your util in order to bring home a win.
Well, you can imagine for a team like TSM, they are going to rotate towards the north side. As the last time we were here, it actually did pull north, Toby. We did go towards Stauber. Circle posted a little further towards the south, but I mean, you can see just how open this circle is as far as the teams within it. Realistically, because of the plane path, a lot of teams have actually opted to go towards the south side, so the entire north is free. The entire east is free. There's a lot of room for these teams to set up early. You can imagine Falcons being one of those teams. The Expendables as well can set up traps. They are one of those teams that desperately need to get points, not necessarily to win, but to push themselves in the top 8.
Now, I want all you viewers to get to the top of the highest mountain in your nearby vicinity and yell at the top of your lungs for everyone to tune in to this match, because we are about to witness, I can only imagine, the most insane ending that we've had in a very long time to what we already knew coming in was going to be a close tournament.
I don't know if I'm ready, Toby. I don't know if I'm ready. This is going to be probably one of the best endings we've ever had, especially with how close this is towards the top, but also how many teams can shift within the middle of the pack.
Yes. Now, last game, Purdy, at this point, was already down and out. We need to see these top teams, these 4 teams, maybe 4.5, 5, if Quantum Freaks pulls off a game of their lifetime, not make mistakes early. Do not make mistakes early. FaZe will have a somewhat difficult rotation to make. I'm expecting to see them play it very slow, allow for Cerberus, allow for Na'Vi to wrap in front of them and just come in playing behind. Sonics, though, different discussion on their part. They are the furthest away team on that southwestern side from this circle. How do they path in? Do they go north around, backfill the likes of TSM, Valentine, and Tianba, or do they try to creep south around? I feel like no matter where they go, there is the scary potential of of gatekeeps, of ambushes going against them. We've seen all these 3 teams struggle in tournaments past to keep all 4 players alive through early to mid-game. So curious to see how they're going to fan here as the jousting session is about to come upon us. 3 versus 3, TSM versus BP early on.
And they're rotating to the north of them. A beautiful spray. He'll immediately catch a doozy out. Can they get a second point? They do 3. Are you kidding me? This would be the earliest 4 points TSM has gotten. Unbelievable against a team like BB Team as well.
Oh my lord, as we couldn't make things any closer. Bestelog will be able to survive this, but look at this Purdy, knowing full well where he is going to try and isolate, but Purdy, for the love of everything holy, do not risk a loss of yourself at the potential of a single point. Do not over-aggress. Play it smart. Be clever. Do not fall here.
I mean, do they go for this or they just let it go? I mean, that is a free point, and every single point matters. They know Best of Luck at this point is probably just going to play with them, but they can camp them out, and they might as well. They have so much room in the north, so they could do this, or I mean, I guess he denies?
They have him in the water now. There's no way he can get to the shore and shoot back unless if he catches them all massively by surprise. Best of luck. If you could somehow do this, it would be absolutely insane. He's down below water. There's no way he survives. TSM are going to get themselves 3 points off a BB team falling. And honestly, I think that's the earliest point denial we have ever seen in competitive PUBG. But Purdy, that 1 HP escape, had me scared for a second.
But the other thing as well that was so impressive about that is TSM knew there was a team that was north, right? They knew there was a team that dropped right next to them, so you know what? If we get the opportunity, let's slow it down. Let's take care of them. Meanwhile, 17 Xiaobei will try to get some damage here onto AGG as they've already lost Little Ghost.
And this is where it becomes difficult for the teams that are currently top, because the teams that are sat below them know we have to make a miracle game happen in order to rise to the top. So look at the aggression we're seeing out of these mid-pack teams that desperately want to get in on some of the chunk of the top prize pool.
Yeah, as you see Tycon now trying to give a little bit of a rebuttal back to 17 Xiaobei. Dangerously close to getting knocked as Suju now with the seed swap, trying to get some damage, but the smoke will cover him. And that actually goes perfectly into your point.
Yeah.
Sonics have to know that there's going to be other teams trying to contest in that mid-pack as well, so their rotation is even more dangerous as Zest will find Xiao Wu.
They could have been part of this had they gone earlier, but they're clearly taking their time. They might be hearing these shots, though. We are seeing Tickleton going up towards Pachinki Hill now, from where obviously they won't be able to see any of this, but they'll see the knocks and the kill feed info that's within 1.5 kilometers. And then, obviously, if they can hear the shots, if they can kind of put 2 and 2 together, there might be third-party points for them to go for. But with where they're sat currently, do you risk it? Do you potentially get yourself tangled in a third-party fight on the edge of the first circle? It could just be too dangerous.
Yeah, sure, you get the points, as you're saying, Toby, but you lose vital position in that circle, especially when it shifts, because you have that problematic Yas Lake in the center of the circle that causes wonky shifts, especially once we get to phase 4. So I think for Sonics, they just let those points go by the wayside.
I was going to say there's more to play for. Xiaobei, of course, not a whole lot more than this to play for. They're sat here, they're tucked in, ready and waiting for the fight to come. Xiaobei forced to prone down, get healed on up if he could, but no, it's not going to be time forward. Sapao peeks on over, able to take him down as AG Global, again, trying to climb this mid-pack leaderboard. They're at 48 points currently. Navi within reach. Danua with a good game here, potentially within reach as well, unless if Sushu has something to say about it.
I was going to say, AGG only 9 points behind 8th place, and again, every placement matters! And a fly car! Suju will find Sapao!
Oh, last bullet in the chamber, not gonna matter. Cest finds him, and 17 Gaming, your PGS 1 champions, will fall in what currently is 7th. But Danua Navi, of course, looking to try and climb above that point.
And that's good news for all the teams that were below 17 Gaming, so they'll be able to leapfrog with a good game here. Very possible, but let's go back to this replay. The sprays were immaculate. The aim, when it mattered the most, they got all 3 members out of that car. And the points they got, just, again, the confidence it builds.
Also them realizing that this rotation was coming through and getting out of the car in time, because they were effectively driving straight towards one another. There's a world where it's BB team out of their cars doing the exact same thing.
And a disaster.
TSM. Exactly. Now, Sonics, again, hunting, just 1 point behind FaZe Clan, wanting to get home this win, but with many rotations to make before they can call themselves champions of this tournament. They're coming on the southern side, pretty much exactly the same position here as they had in the previous game, slow rotating over the northern side of Potato Mountain, face out towards the east, trying to do similar slow rotations and creep their way forward.
Yeah, but the issues here for both the Sonics, as you mentioned, and FaZe is the fact that if this pulls further and further north, that causes such complications, especially with how many teams, Toby, are sitting in front of them, especially with those teams with wide splits like the Expendables. You have Cerberus, you have Petrichor as well, who are sitting in 3rd place, just 3 points behind. I mean, they could also set up a trap on that Yas Bridge, and why not? If you're in a position where the circle gives you the opportunity, it centers up on you, that is a great spot to play.
Definitely is. And of course, an important thing to keep in mind here, Sonics is leading by quite a margin in placement points over FaZe, Petrichor, and TSM. So in case of a tie up in that first place with Sonics up there, unless if we see an insane upset where Sonics get all the kills in the world, the other team gets none but a lot of placement points, it should have Sonics winning set tiebreaker.
Which would even add more craziness if
imagine
three
a
different
tournament
teams
win.
tie.
Imagine a tournament win with a triple tie. You know what I mean? We're in a world where it's very, very possible that that happens. But here, this circle, TSM is sat in the north, Petrichor, FaZe, and Sonics on the southern side. And we are going Stolber. We've been here before. Danoa had a blowout of a game up in this exact area. We'll see if maybe this Korean team can do something to upset, as everyone is now getting into vehicles trying to make their way north.
And TSM, being the beneficiaries of this shift, have gotten here early. We saw them take care of BBT. We talked about it already, but now they have to depend against all the teams coming into their north as well as their west. But now Sonics taking shots, trying to chase down Cerberus, will find Haisaki.
Cerberus is turning around on this one, though. You're seeing it. They're coming back towards Haisaki. This could be dangerous for Sonics. We talked about it before. How much are you willing to risk for a couple of early game points? Himas is nearby. He's out of the vehicle. He's clearly trying to take shots now towards the Sonics players. Kickstart trying to get out away to safety, but they actually have help. It's help from All Gamers Global, far off in the distance, able to suppress, potentially allowing for Sonics to get out of here alive. Are they turning around on this too?
No, I think Sonics is just trying to get out of there. They're trying to get away as quickly as possible. They'll at least find the dip for now, and it looks like they're going to stop. They're going to stop on this fight, Toby. They're going to try to take it to Cerberus.
Sonics is turning it around. Dogmite down already. Adrian down to low HP. Himas can't hit these shots that he so desperately needs to land. Shrimsy able to take down Haisaki as well as they find Sololsi too. This could be a clean sweep for Sonics, a perfect start to the final match of the tournament, but they need to find Himas, and there they go! 4 points in the bag for Sonics early on.
Beautiful wipe coming out from the Sonics, and they don't take a single knock in return. And so now if they wanted to, they could shift to AGG, but AGG has wisely decided, you know what, that fight's over. There's no knocks available. Let's just get into the circle, but this buys Sonics some much needed time.
With everything on the line, the daringness to turn around, to go for that fight. Insane kudos to Sonics, let alone for daring, as they will be the first team to jump into the 100+ points. Now look at this, 3rd and 4th have found each other. No knocks come through so far, so maybe not fully aware of exactly what team they're facing right next to them, but when they do, when TSM and Petrichor realizes just exactly who they're up against, I think that heart rate is going to go up just a little bit higher.
We got to bring it down for a second here. And so the Sonics at the very least should realize that Yasnaya is most likely not occupied, maybe at most by 1 or 2 teams. Looking at the circle, they can imagine that most of the teams are going to opt to go for a more eastern, western, or central location here.
Yeah.
But how do they rotate? What is their decision? Do they take that risk of Yasnaya? Well, sure, we have the bird's eye view. We know it's completely empty, but is that even a risk that they want to take after getting in such a high-octane fight so early?
Look at the competitive level of PUBG that we're in. PGS 1 champions, they're down and out. PGS 4 champions are down and out. The PGS 3 champions didn't even make the finals here. It's a whole new set of champions waiting to be crowned as this game continues forward. Relo down to 2 bullets, might want to loot just a little bit more as we now hop over to Daytrade, a team who might not in this position be able to get a win, but could definitely stir some trouble further up. But it's 7-7 to find the first knock onto Norins.
Yeah, Norins and Tiamba have had issues all event, mainly just keeping multiple members alive.
Yeah.
Past 2, past circle 3. Finally, they have a chance here to get a good amount of points. Flashstone making it much more difficult, but they will recover at least with 3 kills and an opportunity to still climb up into 8th place.
Tough break for Daytrade here for sure, but I think overall a tournament they can be very proud of.
Oh, look at this shit.
People here not expecting Daytrade to come out with flying colors, but they were clearly miles above the best team in all of Apex, something they, to me, can be very, very proud of. As you said, Circle shifts towards the west face now, starting their rotation. They are the team the furthest from the circle. The team following them is Sonics. In the meantime, TSM, Petrichor are both sat dead center.
Petrichor know that they have a big opportunity. Same with TSM. the pressure on these teams to just hold on to that position, make sure that they defend from anyone trying to crash in. Fortunately for them, the terrain actually does favor them, and so they won't have anyone necessarily driving up quick. But now, looking at FaZe, this is such a smart rotation for them, going all the way to the north, avoid everything happening on the east and the west.
If our eyes go to Sonics for a second, though, here as TSM is trying to figure out what's happening for Sonics, how do you approach? How do you approach this mountain, knowing there are teams set right in front of you? Freaks are over on the western side, Danawa towards the east. It's a Korean wall they're effectively running into. If they can get over the Asnaya wall first, of course, being just a small fence line. We'll see here if Sonics can somehow, you know, we can laugh a little bit. We try to be serious throughout all of it, but let's get some laughs out of the way now, because we know chaos is only going to unfold from here on out.
But as you said, KDF, you know, holding that 2-2 split, Noling as well as to the east side on that hilltop, that is such a strong position, especially if a team is coming in the south. My worry for Sonics is that they might gatekeep them straight into Danawa, but look at Falcons. Falcons are right there as well.
Yep.
This is... God, this is going to be do or die for Sonics.
What better or worse than America versus America? A story as old as time
being held
to happen in the very final match of the tournament. Now, Falcons have kind of slowed things down for a second. This shot right here brings me back to a US falling down a hill and taking out all of Sonic. So please, Coop, do not fall down that hillside. But for Falcons right now, set right below Danawa, if they engage in this, if Sonic's hear shots, they might just wrap East on foot. But then the question becomes, how does Freaks respond to this? Is there any fight in which they want to engage? Because they see Day Trade out. They see 17 out. They know they have a 20-plus point buffer to the teams below them. And now the first shots are going to be fired. And it's actually H-Win all the way down south, finding Flood in a solid off angle. 5th point for Sonics already, and we're only in phase 3.
Yeah, Huyn with a great position there on the south side, letting his team go ahead, holding the back line, making sure that they don't get backfilled. We'll just kind of find Flood just out in that open area, trying to figure out what's even going on the south side, right? And they were also having to contest with Danawa. Now, I think the saving grace here for Sonics is if they can maybe knock Guman and then realize that they do have a little bit of a pocket to rotate, but they would be going straight into AGG.
This next circle could be a tournament-winning shift, depending on where it takes us as Falcons try to make their way on forward. Navi, they're ready and waiting at hard shift south. We talked about how Sonics would have to press the hill, but now they might not have to at all. So said, phenomenal 1v2 here as he sweeps over to the mini. Solid hip-fire shots coming in as he takes down the double. Now, for Na'Vi, they have a rotation to make, FaZe have a rotation to make, and Sonics has just received the hard shifts of hard shifts to potentially win them this tournament.
If this went further north, I would have lost quite a bit of hope for Sonics, not because they don't have the skill, but the amount of teams they would have had to traverse through. More importantly, now looking at FaZe, looking at Na'Vi up on the east side of this, they are going to have to contend with not only Na'Vi, but also the Expendables. 2 members still left on that team.
Huge for Sonics as well is that they know full well they're the team further to the south. They have nothing to worry about behind them. Normally, you see these teams spending time in this mid phase clearing out the south. They can focus full uphill. They don't have to worry about it. There might be a sweeping play coming through, but for now, all they have to do is sit tight and hope to see FaZe, Petric, or TSM on the losing side of the kill feed any moment.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around how this has played out and how perfect that circle was, not only for Sonics, but Petrichor as well.
He's trying to stay alive here as they find one, find two, fighting on multiple fronts now. Glory's down, Hagatori down as they try to venture further forward. So far, no casualties on their side, but Tanru priming a nade, lobbing it up forward. Not going to find much as I say that. Perfect throw. Gustav, first one to fall.
And the Expendables, Tanvu could ruin this tournament here for FaZe with multiple members down now, and one just straight up being flushed. FaZe down to 3.
Yep. Gustav down early on, not what you want to have happen. Gustav has played a phenomenal part in this FaZe climb to 100+ points as well.
This is so close, and fortunately for FaZe, there is only one member left that they have to deal with. But more importantly, look at the ridgeline in the northeast. They actually have a pocket to play. Yep,
definitely do. We just saw Na'Vi get completely dismantled by Danawa as well. Happened off screen, but out towards the east. That's going to allow for Danawa to play way more wide. Now Petrichor joining the kill feed. Fex getting points as well. And that's my main concern here. Yes, Sonics already has 5, but how many more points are they going to be willing to try and go for outside of potential placement points coming their way? Fex, yet another one, as they now are sat just 1 point behind Sonics.
Oh, this is so close. You also have TSM still with 4 members alive and 5 kills into this game. But more importantly, looking at Sonics, KDF has conceded the south, so they've actually opted to move more north, be more central, and they've given Sonics just a small, very small amount of room.
Yep, definitely have. Dynamo looking towards the north. TSM now doing the exact same thing. They were well aware that Valatai was nearby, and now they find Kiss before he gets to wrap further towards the northern side. So Valatai, just 2 players left alive. They will take out Tianba, who will fall in 10th, but now they have to stand strong against TSM.
The last 2 members of Valatai, as you said, standing or trying to stand strong against TSM, who are rotating in on the north side, and they're going to have to contest with Petrichor. And more importantly, once they start this fight with Valatai, that might be the signal for AGD to come up and try to third party.
We said Dynamo has played phenomenally in this area of the map before. They're looking to do so yet again. Purdy, arms shot to the chest, has to slow things down here as Valatai trying to hold off, but Purdy out of the vehicle too soon is going to fall. Now will Valatai respond? It's obviously just Latai left, but Luke down. Purdy knocked the blue. Still 25 seconds from closing in, but this is not what they needed in this situation.
No, this is the last thing TSM wanted. Sparky now has taken some damage, so he's going to have to back off, which does not buy Alo the time, the much-needed time to get a res. The nade might push him back, though, and he's just going to go for it. He's going to get his IGL up.
Face inside the circle almost. Jeem still trying to make his way there, but Latai is here now. All Gaming Global is coming over the top. A little bit of a saving grace for TSM that Petrichor take out Valatai, but here comes All Gaming Global. Just one ridge line further towards the west, and they should have eyes on them.
And the problem now for TSM is they've been embroiled in this fight for much longer than they wanted to with just 2 members, and they're going to have to make a send in. They just have to go straight in, and they're driving right at AGG, who's going to see this vehicle coming down, and the return fire coming from TSM. But look at this, it's actually KDF giving them a little bit of help. Purdy will fall.
Freaks are doing God's work for TSM right now. Yes, they lose Purdy, but let's see how many more they can keep alive on this rotation. Ixlet takes out Sparking, instantly wants to confirm those points. As Halo is seen as well, and that is TSM. Our 4th place team down and out.
And one of the biggest threats to win this tournament, as you said, are now gone. So it just comes down to Sonics, FaZe, and Petrichor Road.
Petrichor with a chance to take out FaZe as well, with a chance to, with the elimination of FaZe, crawl into 2nd place. Sonics now has to make their move forward as well, but they're sat in a Korean bow, effectively, on that southern side. FaZe seen over the top. Jeem's first one to fall. When does Fex strike? Here he comes. 1 down. Ixlift confirmed.
And can he be the hero? Fex about to be the other team about to fall in this running here. Currently he's in 2nd place, tied with 1st in the Sonics. Ming making that push forward, and they realize it's just down to 1 member. Fex, can you save this game? Can you make the push? He'll find Chewy, but no, FaZe is out.
FaZe going down as well. 3rd place out. It's a Petrichor and Sonics race for the top. They want to get Chewy back up. Losing Ixlift is not going to help them at all, but they're tied for points. Now, keep in mind what I said earlier. Sonics lead on placement points. Therefore, they will win this tiebreaker. But at least for now, Sonics have the numbers. But arguably also, at least for now, they have the tougher rotation to make. It all comes down to this next circle. Do we go north? Do we go south? Or do we center up?
And either way, though, Toby, it's going to be the Sonics that are actually still sandwiched in between Danawa and KDF. You see the majority of KDF has gone towards the north side, trying to eye maybe an opportunity to get some points between that fight in Petrichor and FaZe that just concluded. But you also still have Tycon in that northwest side. Meanwhile, Danawa, the majority of control in this circle. There is a huge ridgeline as well that they could play that Taman currently sits on if they want to take control. This is madness.
This is huge. And going back to Sonics pulling up on that Cerberus fight earlier as well. I feel like all these teams have had moments in the early game where everything could have gone against them, but they're playing so aggressive, trying to bring home this win. Chewy now peeking forward, spots Quantum Freaks. Little does he know that leaving Freaks alive, at least for a little while, could potentially help in holding off Sonics, but they have given space. The Korean team has opted to go up towards the north, now forcing Petrichor to think better of it. As a matter of fact, both teams have started to give space for Sonics to creep in down below.
Yeah, the timing for both of those teams moving, as you said, giving Sonic space is actually quite ridiculous at this point. Thinking that all the stars are really starting to align for the Sonics here, Toby, is Loki now keeping his eyes towards Sonics as they're starting to wrap on the west side. What little cover they have, they're going to have to use in order to make their push up towards heaven.
Tycon down and out. Freaks looking to potentially climb above TSM, but that will require a humongous finish to this final match of the tournament. Sonics see a crate up in front of them. That is clearly bait, my friends. Do not go for that. At least not yet. In the meantime, as we said before, all of Freaks are looking north, but now Danoa, realizing there's a full team set on their southern side, are turning their attention south.
And all Sonics are currently stuck in this pocket. This is just all of them are in, but it's nothing to play. It's not a position they can really do anything from, and so they have to find Nox. That's really the only option they have. And Heaven has just been such a linchpin for Sonics, not allowing them to move forward on the west.
Exactly, and he's in a 3-1 split with the remaining of his teammates trying to fend off against Petrichor, so Quantum Freaks really trying to take home the whole cake without just a small piece of it. 3 men now pushing up towards Petrichor. If they take them out here, there might just be a west side sweep in the store for Petrichor to make of their own. Look at how split these two Korean teams are. Danoa 2-1-1 split on the east. Quantum Freaks a wide 3-1 split on the west. This utility is finally starting to fly in.
Petrichor just thwarting this push a little bit. You see the Freaks kind of going on a back foot just for a moment.
It's a tie. We're tied with the top 2 teams fighting right down to the end here. Never has a tournament been this close, and Petrichor inside the circle, but only just exactly. The last 2 circles has favored Sonics and allowed for them to stay on the southern side, but look at the angle that Taemin now has over the top. He's a solo player, so I'm not sure if he's going to take the shot, but at least he's going to feed the info across to his teammates that they have Petrichor set right on this side as the circle send us up, favoring neither Sonics or Petrichor.
And you can see KDF was posturing. They were actually re-aggressing on this fight between the Petrichor road, which makes me wonder, are they actually just going to push it? Are they going to force this because they know that they need to get in the circle, and the last thing they want to deal with is another team on the north side?
Yeah. Quantum Freaks are burning through the util by the second. I don't think they have a whole lot of lethal throwables left. As now you see here, shots are starting to be fired on the southern side. Freaks are being massively suppressed by Deal and Iononix. A placement point alone, a team eliminated of one of the 2, and Petrichor could beat Sonics and the other way around as well, as one of them outlive the other with the way that the standings are currently set.
And you can see Sonics are not trying to move just yet, even though their backs are against the blue. They're just waiting for the last possible moment to move to see if they have any sort of advantage, and you can see the smoke wall is starting to form, which will give them a little push forward.
Important knock coming through from Summer. They're trying to figure out, do we go west, do we go east, how to re-approach this next shift. The circle has swung towards the east, but they want to wait for Freaks to try and make a move down the hillside first.
Petrichor Road jumped up by that 1 point, so they are currently sitting in first place. Sonics now moving with that smoke wall, and they've actually been given room. They have room in the southwest, and they will find a spot to play. It is quite open, though.
They're not inside the circle just yet either. They have to crest around the eastern side of that ridge line from where they would be visible to Danoa. This fight is still going on. Petrichor against Freaks, 5th against 2nd, trying to decide who's going to win this tournament. The thing is now, Sonics are going to see this up above. They might just want to engage on this. They have to hold with their backs turned. Yes, they do.
Oh, they do. And so that is it. The Freaks are gone, and Sonics get the majority of those kills.
Exactly. 2 points rewarded for Sonics. They're going to be set tied still at 109. 4 teams left alive. Sonics and Petrichor both knowing where they have one another now. As Snakers finally joins the party, finds Ming. Summer down as well. Petrichor down and out. And that should confirm it with them eliminated in 3rd.
Unbelievable. The Sonics end up doing it, but still, Danoa has the opportunity. They can jump up. They can take 6th place. They can still make this work. And yes, for the Falcons, they can jump Na'Vi at the very least, including AGG.
Everybody wanted Smash Rule. Everybody wanted to see the winner of the tournament win the final game. Well, you might just see it here, even without those rules in place. Danoa, 4 alive, have won a phenomenal game, almost in this exact position. The way they have been playing the east side of this circle up until this point has been absolutely amazing. But Sonics, they allowed them in. Now there's one more circle for them to push forward into. Only 4 smokes left to work with. What do you do here if you're Sonics?
And this brings me flashbacks from last year's Gamer 8 when Sonics were also in this position around Stallberg, going towards that second place. Well, I believe they got second place in the final game, but confirming their win. But this time, going for it all, 4 members alive. They still have to push into the circle, Toby.
Tiggleton prone down alongside his teammates, trying to make space, making their way forward. Snakers falls. Sonics and the rest of the players look towards them and say thank you for the help. But now Danawa want to claim yet another win here on this side of the circle. With a win, they could take over Day Trade in 6 players potentially. 2 players down. Danawa is full speed sending it.
And just like that, 2 members left, 7 kills. The win, as you said, will propel them above Day Trade, which is... the implications are still quite important here, as there's only 2 members up. They actually managed to get 3, and they're trying to get Tig up here as well.
Just exactly got all 4 players up just for Kickstart to be taken down once again. Again, the isolation play on the side of Danawa has been picture perfect. The steal set around the southern side, goes for H-Win, finds him as well, and there you have it. Danawa will win the final match of the tournament, but our eyes instantly go to the Sonics. What an effort they have put through. They conquered Americas. Now they've conquered the world yet again. They are your PUBG Esports World Cup champions, Sonics!